So sometimes we take the data you've done for a specific place and we go and we work with a local OSM group or a local Red Cross group or local volunteers and sort of train them how to do data collection and mapping, and they go out and gather the local data. But actually what we've found through the process of doing missing maps is NGOs have loads of geographical data that they've mapped already. It's just they don't send it anywhere. Like, if they're planning a measles vaccination, they'll send a car out with a driver, and the driver will go to each village, write down how many kilometres it was from the last village, how long it took him to get there, what the name of the village is, and then he'll go back to the base and they'll use that to plan their measles vaccination. But the next year, when they have to do, I don't know, another measles vaccination, or 2 years later, they get a driver and they send him out to the villages and he writes down the kilometres, and this happens pretty much endlessly. As people leave projects, they don't hand over maps. They're usually fairly basic anyway. But actually all this data is being collected and it exists. So part of the missing maps is, slightly surprisingly, which we weren't anticipating necessarily, taking this data and making it available sort of in perpetuity so we can use it again and again. Martin, I've lost the thing. Sorry, I'm not a map user. So this is just really quick showing you. So occasionally we've had mapathons at a place called ThoughtWorks, and they've offered us the venue on a monthly basis from the new year. We think it's not quite confirmed, but I think what we're going to do is keep this on every first Tuesday of the month, but on the third Tuesday of the month have more of a kind of missing maps workshop type thing, where instead of doing tracing, we map field data. So we take data that's come back from the field and we try and digitize it back into OSM. So slightly more complicated. You'll need to be like JOSM competent to be able to, contribute. But I've seen so many people move from these tables onto these tables and into the validator room in the time we've been doing the mapathons that it doesn't take long for someone to go from completely new to JOSM competent. So this is some stuff that got sent through yesterday, and this is field mapping essentially. So this is the kind of stuff that we've got to try and translate into digital data. So that this is a team in Katanga. This was actually the vaccination campaign. This is the mapping they did beforehand. So I just wanted to show you the kind of stuff that's coming back from the field that is our challenge for digitizing. That's not it. That looks like something in Martin's head. So this is a map drawn in Excel. What? Wow. Who knows? Like NSF field people are like super. There's one sitting at the back there. If you needed a map drawn and all he had was Excel, he could draw you a map in Excel. But this is kind of what I'm talking about. So obviously there's a base down here, and they've gone out on the road and they've sort of done rough distances and stuff and named the villages. But so if we know what this place is called, maybe we can look at imagery and transpose this on top of existing OSM data and work out what villages are named and add the village names into OSM. Which thereby completes that kind of three-stage cycle of having good, traced and local data that epidemiologists, medics, logisticians can use. Let's see if I can show you another one. Okay, paper maps. So this is a map of aire de santé. These are health areas. So in Congo, where this is from, you have like administrative divisions like we have. They have provinces, territories, groupements. So when you give your address, you give a series of names based on those things. But the health divisions are slightly different. So you have a health district, and that's split up into health zones, and that's split up into health areas. and each health area has a health post in it. It's very important for MSF if they are supporting particular health posts or they're trying to do a vaccination campaign, the health post is likely to be the focus of that campaign, to know not only where those health posts are, but what the coverage of that health area is. So how many people can they expect to be in that health area? Where will they be coming from? That sort of stuff. So this is an attempt to map health areas. So you can see the health posts, I think, like this came through today, I think are the kind of symbols, and they've got names, and some of them will be named after the village they're in, so you could kind of work out where they are if you've got a few names in OSM, and then maybe you can use the top of the lake as a guide to seeing, you know, where the roads are and how the other villages fit. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So it's definitely not going to be easy. But these are the kind of things that it's definitely valuable data, and it's data we can't get without being in the place. So we don't want to lose it, but it's not going to be easy to map.
That's not uncommon. I was just talking to someone here, and that's good NGO practice. Like, we're making maps and using them. We've just got working with a team that's come back from the Philippines, and the disaster risk reduction guys have 52 maps like that, each of them doing risk mapping in the field with people, where they basically run a workshop with a community and drawn big maps, and we're now trying to digitize those and give them back the kind of big printed version so they can just get everything a lot more accurate and feed it back to them. So that's kind of where we are. Although I haven't seen the Excel one done yet, that's pretty impressive.
I'm not sure what this one is. It's opened in Excel, but it might just be a picture in Excel. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a similar thing. So this is the type of stuff we can get. But we might also get GPS data, like points of various things. We might get field papers. There's a whole variety of stuff that might come in. So what I'm kind of saying is if you're interested in helping us with this kind of challenge, which is as useful as the tracing you're doing, then next time if you're using ID, maybe go and try JOSM. And if you use JOSM, try validation. Like, the more skilled you are in the kind of editors we're using, the more you'll be able to contribute to this kind of stuff, which is nice because you get your hands on things that have been in Congo and been in Bangladesh. In fact, if you want to talk to anyone about this, Tom here is leading a group of mappers who are digitizing field papers from Zimbabwe. So he's been working on this for months, and he's been honing his procedures and processes. So if you want to talk to him about how that kind of stuff works, do that. Cool.